Today we are
Waalaikumsalam
from
warahmatullah. Yes.
we are going to present our current issue, which is a company secretary owes a duty to take reasonable care to the intended transferees of shares. Next slide. So today I'm Nur Safia and Razana. We present our activity 2. So this is my group member Shamini, Dayang and Razana and also Raziana. So the first one is issue. So does the company secretary or the intended transferees of shares a duty of care as to the adjudication and transfer of the shares? So this case is based on section 238 subsection 2 of the Companies Act, where the case law is Tekfa and Anor. This case is about Lee Chairman was the managing director of the Tekfa and the registered shareholders of Worthy Builders owning about 17 million ordinary shares. So the company had given the company secretary specific instruction to transfer the shares to the specific transferees. So Lee gave the company secretary instruction to cease all the transfer before it could be performed. So Lee claimed that transfer was fraud. So the transfer of shares had been cancelled by the company. The intended transferees then sued the company secretary because they and the company secretary had a contract and that contract had been broken. So alternatively, that the company secretary owed them the duty of care in carrying out the transfer, and that duty was breached when he failed to carry out the transfer. So in conclusion, the High Court dismissed the contract argument. So the High Court, however, decided that the company secretary had a duty to properly carry out the instruction to adjudicate, transfer, and register the shares on behalf of the intended transferees. So the court determined that the company secretary had not violated his duty in this case. So this judgment also has implication when we in conjunction with the guidelines relating to practicing certificate for secretaries under section 241 of the Companies Act. So why the person was charged is because the company secretary because he had breached the contract between his and the intended transferees. So the company secretary also awarded them a duty of care in carrying out the transfer and had breached the duty when he failed to proceed with the transfer. So after that, so the court held that in summary, they reject the contract argument. So the High Court decided that the company secretary owed the intended transferee a duty of care to currently carry out the orders to adjudicate, transfer, and register the shares. So in this case, the court determined that the company secretary had not violated this obligation. So this is because on the assertion that a contract existed between Tekfa and his son and the and and the High Court determined that there was no such contract based on the evidence. Therefore, no sanction was given to the company secretary as he did not breach the contract. Next, for the next part, I will pass to the Raziana.
Okay. Next is what is he supposed to do to prevent this charge against. First, he's supposed to take reasonable care when discharge a duty. This is because transferring shares to the intended transferees is a serious matter. It involves the company's profit. He is supposed to check the status of the intended transferees rather than believing the director that told him without showing any proof. Other than that, it is also the duty of the secretary to act honestly and use reasonable diligence. This is because if he did not act honestly, fraud may have happened. If this happened, he may be charged by the court due to breach of law. Okay, next is what we can learn from this case. Firstly, it is crucial to ensure that all necessary steps are taken to properly transfer ownership of shares, including obtaining the necessary signatures and submitting the necessary documents to the relevant authorities. Secondly, Secretary needs to be aware of the legal obligations and duties that may be owed to shareholders, including contractual obligations and duties of care. Thirdly, it is important for a secretary to maintain accurate records and documentation related to share transfers, as these records may be required in the event of a legal dispute. Lastly, a young auditor or secretary should seek legal advice when dealing with complex legal matters such as share transfers to ensure that all legal requirements and obligations are being met. That's all from us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your effort to have this. But we need to discuss further this case. I guess that you misunderstood what you have read. I will stop recording now because I will use this video as case study in future. So my comment is not included in the video.